You
Hey,
always talk about when you switch up your starting lineup, you wanted to benefit the guys who are coming out of the lineup too. Did you see that with Travion and Aaron tonight?
well, I think they both played well. Obviously, the way Indiana State pressured us and tried to take passes away, opened up, obviously, the ability to feed the post. And anytime you can get deep position and stay one-on-one, I thought Travion did a good job of just going right at him. And, Aaron was just active, and I think that's what Aaron needs to do. Like, he made a couple shots for us, and that was great. But more than anything, just rebounding. He had 4 blocks, which was great. And, those are the type of, games that, those guys have to have, consistently, especially on the rebounding. Like, you don't expect someone to score 30 points every night. Maybe you don't expect someone to get 4 blocks every night, but you can rebound every single night out. And, that was a great sign that both of those guys responded the way they did.
Just back to Trey real quick. Did you see something different out of him though, the way he approached the game or anything like that?
He played better. Like, you guys ask these questions in theory about how I can see something before. And you practice, you work on things, you try to get better, you try to build good habits, and then you go out in the game and you perform. And, like, you can't do things in the game that you're not practicing or you're not good at. Like tonight, like, name one thing that he did that he's not good at. He's a good rebounder. He's a good low post scorer. He went to, his left shoulder, his jump hook, which is his best move, and he didn't do anything, that he couldn't do. He just played to his strengths. And if he just plays hard and plays to his strengths, he'll have good nights.
Yeah, that's the one specific thing you said. You just wanted to do more simple, more basic.
Yeah. Simple's the best way. Simple always wins the race, man. If you're talented and you're good and you have some discipline, when you're simple, good things are going to happen.
Does the same principle apply to the turnovers? Is it just a matter of making simple catches and passes?
Well, there's a lot of turnovers there. There's a lot of different things, whether it's post feeds or just connecting with somebody to make a pass, threading the needle on a backdoor pass that we shouldn't be making. Guys just not making simple passes, guys not jump stopping in the lane. We could go on and on. Zach had the one offensive foul that was just a bad call. And, guys not used to reffing people that size. But, for the most part, we just got to be fundamentally sound. It's a lack of concentration, if you ask me. Pass and catch, be strong with the ball, see the defense. And, we got to get better at it. We're not going to beat teams consistently having 19 turnovers in a game.
I'm good. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Mike?
Just what did the group on the floor at the end, the last 4 or 5 minutes, what did they give you?
Well, we felt that we had to play, 2 ball handlers, after we started turning the ball over. We didn't want to make it worse. And, and that's what we're able to do. And obviously Travion and Aaron's ability to rebound, Travion's ability to score in the low post. Sasha gives us stability. Obviously he ends up with 12 and only takes 5 shots and just a steady player. But more than anything, like our inability to defend, like we would push the lead up a little bit. And like, how many times do you have to get backdoored before you recognize what the hell's going on? It's just those type of things is where our learning curve is right now. Like, we have to be better at being able to see the ball and see our man and then be able to adjust and react to different cuts or different actions. And we're just not doing it. And it's across the board. It's a lot of guys. And so we have to work, diligently moving forward to every opponent in terms of the actions they run and what they do. But there's times in the game that just people are going to play. They're going to play basketball. And if you're not going to pay attention and you're just going to ball watch, people are just going to cut behind you. You got to go with your man to the rim. So we did some good things. It was good to see us pull out the win. But there's also the turnovers, the lack of awareness defensively at times. It's alarming. I thought we had some good efforts, like, from Aaron Wheeler and from Travion Williams. But for the most part, like, we got to be better. And, we got to strive to be better than we were tonight.
I mean, that doesn't, you're jumping into the deep end starting Wednesday with the Big Ten. I mean, you don't have a lot of time to figure this stuff out. I mean, are you going to have to figure it out in games?
Well, I hope so. That's the whole point. Like, that's why you practice. So you go to practice and you work on it. You watch film, you work on it. So The lights got to come on for some guys. That's the best way to put it. Like, you got to compete, you got to lay it on the line, but you got to be functional. You got to know what the hell's going on. And, it's not like we're playing 7 defenses here. We're playing 1. And we got rules to what we do, and stick to those rules and compete. I don't care if you're 18 years old or you're 23. Everybody on our team can play. We just got to have more discipline, and we got to work for it. Don't give in to things. Don't allow other people to set the narrative on where we are. We got to be better than we were today.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Heads up.
Yep, go ahead, Joe.
Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Just returning to Travion one more time, not to beat a dead horse here, but he starts out the game. Obviously, he didn't start, but he starts out 0 for 4 and takes the first 8 or 9 minutes to score, and then obviously ends the half the way he did. Just within that first half, did he start doing something differently, or did you say something to him to sort of get him going, or was it just?
No, just they were going to play us one-on-one in the post, so we were going to throw it to Zach and Travion as much as we could. So they got 40 points between them. So if you talk about 40 minutes from one position and you got 40 points, I think that's pretty efficient and pretty effective. So if they were going to play us one-on-one, we're going to throw it in there, and it's nothing magic. Travion's a good player. He just keeps things simple and plays physical basketball. A lot of good things are going to happen.
Talk a bit about Cooper Neese and just his impact
Yep.
on the game and what it took to defend him as a team.
Right, I thought he was great. I thought Cooper really played well. Took the shots that were, kind of presented to him. Played off a shot fake a couple times. Made a couple nice pull-ups. Made some deep threes where we had to come with that early hand to discourage that and not really contest it, but just get him not to shoot it. And you got to give him credit, but also when you allow a good player to get his head up. And I tried to explain that to our guys about him. And that, he's a good scorer, and he really hasn't got to where he's been, a consistent scorer for him, And, this is, him and Key are 2 really good players, and both of those guys really played well. But I was impressed. I was impressed with their team. I was impressed with, Coach Lansing and their approach. Like, this is their second game. They played Truman State, and now they're playing us, and, they were right there in this game. And, you got to give them credit. They're gonna have a good season.
Toward the end of the game, it seemed like a similar picture to the Miami game, in which
Yeah.
the lead kind of shrunk a little bit with only a few minutes left. What do you think was the biggest difference between how the team handled that situation
Right.
tonight versus Tuesday?
Well, I just think our execution, we had some breakdowns defensively, and Travion set a good screen for Sasha at that point around the 4 or 5 minute mark, and he hits a 3. We get a good post up. We had 4 or 5 possessions in there where in a couple of those we didn't knock down shots, but we executed well and got a good shot. And in Miami we didn't. Everybody kind of took their turns, and they weren't playing to win. And sometimes when you hear that about guys, you're like, oh man, it's like a subconscious thing. Like, everybody's like, they're going to fix the problem by just taking a shot. And then when you get 4 guys in a row that do that, and you throw a turnover in there and some breakdowns on defense, now you have a debacle and you lose the game, which we did. And so we talked about it in the huddle. We talked about, hey, we're in the same spot we were against Miami, but let's get some stops here. Let's have more discipline on the defensive end, but let's execute down here offensively. Let's get the shot that we want. Let's nobody force us into, shots that we don't want.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.